Hello, 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 guys. Welcome to another episode of Request and Receive Radio. Let me know where you are from in the chat. And I have a really cool topic today. Oh, I have my YouTube open. Give me 1 second. It's like I'm seeing myself right now. This is hilarious. Okay. So today I have a really cool topic, and we're going to be getting into the science of prayer, activating this as a quantum soul technology. Okay. Now, for many of us, as we shifted out of Christianity or some other religion, right, we may have felt a disconnection with praying. I know praying for me is something that I sort of stopped doing, right, because it felt to me like it was begging, or it felt to me like it was um if I am God and God is everything, then who am I really talking to? Who am I really asking? Who am I connecting with? And once we go through that sort of that ego death in the dark night of the soul and the enlightenment, really, we can stop doing some of the things that we used to do. But something that Source started having me do a few years ago was beginning to pray again, but also taught me the original blueprint and the original technology. Okay, let me know in the chat how you feel about praying, how you relate to the topic of praying. Is it something that you do? Or do you simply meditate? Do you how do you connect with spirit, right? How do you connect with source? And really, the intention, the original intention behind prayer was to create an open line of communication between us, ourselves, and the divine. And so even when you see prayer hands like this is a mudra. If you look up ancient mudra symbology, you will find that this is a mudra. This is a very ancient mudra. I want everybody to do this with me, and you'll recognize where energy shifts in the body. So with mudras, and this was literally just downloaded to me like right before I hopped on here. With mudras, they shift the flow of energy in your body, right? So the how energy moves through different circuits in your body, the mudra can shift that energetic flow and activate certain centers. So as you're holding the prayer mudra, I feel energy here in my third eye, right? So being able to see beyond physical is one element of the true original functionality of prayer. And I also feel crown. So source is giving me right now, this is about the connection of the third eye and the crown that opens you up to the heavens. Now, when I looked into the etymology of the word pray or prayer, in French, I got it means to request. And in Latin, however, it meant to beg. And I want to talk about the low vibrational nature of praying first before we sort of go into the original high vibrational blueprint. If we beg, meaning how many of us were exposed to prayer were please, 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 that type of energy, or two, confession, right? Confession. I'm not Catholic. I don't know how the entire system works, but this is just what I'm seeing in my third eye. I'm just getting the example of someone coming before God or coming before clergy um to confess, right? To be saved, to repent, to make their to cleanse of their sins, right? All of the religious beliefs that we can attach to it. Now, energetically, on a quantum level, when you beg and you're going, please, 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 and you're asking for something, you know what you're actually doing. You're just affirming the lack of what you're asking for. Okay. You're affirming the lack of what you're asking for. And you are solidifying the reality where you don't have what you want. And it's also important for us to understand that source doesn't require us to beg. Source does not require us to beg. Source does not require us to prove ourselves as worthy. And even source is giving me the word humble right now. Um, being humble and having this sort of heart-based humility, they're sort of two different things, because when you feel the need to like humble yourself in a very hierarchical way, um, spirit wants us to know that that is the lower form, right? When we go, please, I'm begging, I need this, please help me, please save me. Now I see the savior energy showing up as a timeline loop for humanity, the savior energy. I didn't expect us to go in this little diversion, but stick with me, bear with me, this is good. When we have these sort of religious figures that we feel like are our saviors, or they have died for us, we're actually outsourcing our power to an invisible, interesting, they're calling this an invisible energy net. That energy, source is not requiring that energy. Even this figure that you're using as um the middleman between you and source, that spirit is also not absorbing that energy, not in their true highest soul form. So where do you think that energy goes? Right? That energy goes into the field where you have lower consciousness beings who are using all of that prayer energy, using all of that outsourcing energy. Um, and so source is wanting to help us get back on track with no longer needing a middleman, meaning you don't need Jesus, you don't need Buddha, you don't need any of these people. Now you can invoke and call in the spirit with the help of the high angelic realm to connect you to the purest essence and vibration of those masters and teachers so that they may show up with wisdom and guidance. That's the functionality. You're asking for wisdom and guidance. You're not requesting saving, because really, no one can save you but you. And you save yourself through your own vibration and through your own consciousness. This other aspect of prayer is so there's, okay, we're going to break it down. There are many different ways and types of prayer. The first one being the one that the way in which we are all most familiar, which is simply asking, when you ask for something. And source is giving me whatever you ask for is already given, but the asking, right? The ritual of the asking is helping you to solidify that intention within your vessel, within your consciousness. The asking. The asking is simultaneously the affirmation of what is to come. And the asking opens you up to receive the wisdom, the guidance, the information that you need to bring into fruition that which you have asked for. Okay. Another version of prayer is simply speaking. Okay, we're back. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. Sorry about that. So most people, when they think about prayer, they think about coming in this very humble, respectful, which is totally okay, but serious, way. And what we need to do is we need to make this a playful prayer, because the higher vibration we're in, the more answers we receive, the more answers will flow through from the higher realms, because we're not in the energy of begging, right? We're not in the frequency of fear. We're not in the frequency of separation. Okay. So asking, we have asking, but then we just have speaking out loud. So what source has taught me is I just speak out loud to source all day, like a conversation, right? So that's another form, is the conversation. That's what we're really getting at. Prayer itself is the communion, it's the conversation, it's the connection, it's the communication. And so you connect and you speak as if you're talking to a best friend. This starts to demystify the idea of this presence that is not accessible. So the other thing that source wants us to understand here is prayer is the acknowledgement of the presence of all that is that surrounds you at all times. So sometimes I come to source in a very playful way. And I'm just like, yo, source, that was some bullshit. That was some bullshit, man. That was fucked up. And so source wants us to come also in an authentic way. So this other aspect of prayer is sometimes it's just expression. And sources coming through right now and saying, we love to hear from you. We want to hear from you. Sometime you will be asking, sometime you will be listening. That's another version of prayer, is just listening. Oftentimes when I'm meditating, it becomes a prayer, but it's really visions and answers start downloading. I'm just receiving, I'm listening. So you have meditating, you have asking, you have listening, you have just rawly, authentically expressing, right? The authentic expression. Now, the authentic expression is not the same as begging. The authentic expression is, look, this is the reality of my circumstances and conditions, and I'm connecting for guidance to maneuver, but also on a therapeutic level, knowing that you hear me. So like when there are situations that show up in my life, and I'm talking to source, I'm just expressing from my authentic human what it feels like to be in those emotions. And as I'm expressing what it feels like to be in those emotions, I'm receiving the comfort and the love and the holding of me in that moment. Okay. Now, prayer is really a way of life, because this should be happening all day, every day, meaning on all topics, under all conditions, in any circumstance, you should already be including source. Yes, someone mentioned protection, prayers of protection, absolutely. But you should be including source in every moment of your day. And this is how you build the, yes, every word you speak is a prayer. This is how you build the relationship. Some people wonder, well, where is source? I can't hear source. Do you acknowledge the presence that is around you right now in this very moment? Let's tune into that. Become aware of the space around you, but understand that this is not empty space, dear ones. It is not empty. It is full of our consciousness. It is full of our presence. It is full of breath. The very breath that you breathe in is spirit itself, invisible to the eye, but eternally, infinitely surrounding you nonetheless. Even your scientists have identified that your atoms are made up of mostly air, meaning they're made up of mostly us. That's a good thing. So that means the physical matter, the physical universe is a very small percentage of what consciousness actually is. You want to be relating to that consciousness all day, every day. Something amazing happens. Source, this is dope right now. This is great. Be excited. Share that moment. This is the co-creation. Something negative happens. Source, I'm not understanding what's going on right now. Please help me. But from a place of knowing that what you are asking is already being given. So we want to give you, before we invite some callers on, we want to give you this one last piece of a powerful invocation or prayer that seals the whole thing and makes it work. In high forms of white magic, there's always a ceiling of gratitude. So when you say, and this is how Jesus created miracles and so many other masters created miracles of healing the body, and many other things. When you say thank you to seal the prayer, thank you, and so it is uttered and so it is done. What actually happens on a quantum level is you bring the future into the present. How is that so? If I say thank you, I'm not in a state of lack. I'm not in a state of begging. I'm not in a state of yearning. I'm not in a state of separation. I am in a state of affirming that that which I have asked is already on the way. Furthermore, is already here. How is it already here? Okay. Past, present, future are all now. The prayer happens in the present. The present is where the past and the future meet, the intersection. of the past and the future is the present. So in the present, as I'm connecting and I'm in my prayer mudra, you don't have to, but I kind of want you to understand this energetically, creating this telepathic line of communication into the higher realms. That's literally what I'm seeing this do energetically for my clairvoyance. You might be seeing this energy creates a channel, creates a line, like a temple. There's a reason why temples have a pointy top, because they channel energy. I am in divine flow and harmony to receive what I'm asking for. And it happens now. On a quantum level, when I say thank you, and so it is uttered, and so it is done, whatever you just did, whatever you just said, whatever you just expressed, whatever you just visualized, what happens is you activate the parallel timeline in reality, okay, where this can occur. Okay, I'm sorry. I just removed some people. I didn't I didn't realize that my team had provided the the StreamYard link already. Let me get it up here. So yeah, this is the link you can use to join. I apologize for the person I just removed from the back studio. I didn't know if a hacking situation was going on. Sorry. So you always want to say thank you. And when you say thank you, you reverse engineer the entire manifestation process, because you pull so from your vantage point as the human, you're going, oh, that's out into the future. I want you to understand that source is already there now. If you watch some of my videos I've been creating about collapsing time, source is not in point A or point B. Source is in point A and point B simultaneously. You as the human, you're in point A and you want to get to point B. Okay. So time is a measure of distance, where we go, well, it's going to take this amount of time to get here. Okay. Source is already there. Source is in every timeline, every fractal of reality, every version, every variation of what's possible all the time. So that's why when you give the thank you, it's the acknowledgement and the sealing that reality that is already now is possible and available and coming into divine existence. You will pull it into your now. One last piece before we start taking questions. When you, sorry, I wanted to put it back up for you guys. Okay, I'll let the team do that. When you understand that this is really good, it's only your highest self giving you what you want. Someone said I drank the Christian Kool-Aid from age 17 to 43. That was really funny. When you understand that it's you giving to you, you speed up this process even faster. So when I say thank you, source, I'm saying thank you to all of creation, including myself, for even going through the experience to have this intention and this desire. I'm saying thank you to all of the pieces and parts of myself that's working in cohesion in the invisible, unseen realms to bring this to me. Thank you. I really want you to tune into that frequency of thank you. That's very different than the begging frequency, which is lack. Please, please, thank you. Oh my God, thank you for saving me. Thank you. Okay, no. Lower form, lower vibration, far less powerful. Thank you, self. Source is you. Source is your higher self, which, by the way, is why it already wants to give you what you're asking for, which is why we say what you ask for has already been given, meaning it's already given before you see it. So the thank you closes the time gap. It's not in the future anymore. It's right now. When I say thank you, I'm affirming that that's happening right now. That's on the way right now. That's in motion right now. That's coming into fruition right now. That's solidifying, anchoring into physical reality right now. Thank you. Highest white magic spell or prayer, right? The spell and the prayer is really the same thing. Spell, prayer, invocation. You have some of a high vibration and you have some of a low vibration. Okay, we're only going to talk about the high vibrational stuff today. I am not sure why folks are being blocked backstage. Okay, this person, I think you're the person that I was talking about that I said I accidentally removed. Is the oversoul different from source? Let me explain this. So you have source as the original soul, your highest, think of source as your highest ultimate self. That's really what you are. But when you split off as your own individual soul, that would be your oversoul. But within that oversoul, that's why we call it an oversoul, because there are so many fractals that shoot off or split off from the energy that you first separated from source within. But source is the totality of all of those fractals, all selves, all variations centralized within one consciousness. So, yes, source is you. You are source. It is your most highest self. So, you're never asking for something that's outside of you. I know it seems that way because you're experiencing yourself as a separate self, but you're never asking for something that's truly outside of you. This is all taking place within your own consciousness. Do we pray for the same thing daily or once and let it go? So I really want you guys to shift into seeing prayer as your own personal conversation with source. You do whatever you think you need to do. There's no formality. There's no, you know, I know in from a religious context, we're sort of taught to come in this humble way. It's about being raw, honest, and pure and understand that source is listening with an open heart. Oftentimes when I come to source, it's just to express frustration about certain things. This is really challenging right now. I know I'm supposed to be learning something. Okay. Help me understand what I'm learning because this is very challenging. But as I'm expressing that, this is the key. Understand that source is listening from the non judgmental, unconditionally loving place. It's more so for you to pour out, to be held, to be seen, to be heard, to be witnessed, to be acknowledged. So as you're doing the acknowledgement of the presence that surrounds you, you're also being acknowledged in the very moment that you're experiencing. Okay. Yeah, looks like my team is working on providing the correct link. Apologies there. I'm going to start bringing some people on. So Latrell is hello, hello. Like you're in transition somewhere, going somewhere.
Hello. Can you see me?
No, we cannot. We cannot see you, but we can hear.
Oh, great. Oh my gosh. I'm walking into the door so I can get some good connection. Um, 1 second. But I have my question is that I feel like I should be no, I know that I'm supposed to be a health coach because of all that I've gone through with my health. But I'm starting to feel also some, um, like, like that I'm channeling, helping to channel people's health issues or
Mhm.
like people's specific diets. Hello, you see me now.
Hi.
And I was just wondering, what would that be like, or is that in the plans for me?
Well, because you're asking about it, Source has placed this in your consciousness. That's what Source wants you to know. So instead, use your prayer technology to ask about what is the functionality, how where does this fit in. So from what I can see, are you essentially asking how do I how am I able to maybe channel or see beyond the physical realm into the nature of the illness?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is where you want to start so first, any illness or anything, right, is the manifestation of energy, is the manifestation of an energetic imbalance. I'm seeing multiple avenues for you to explore to open this up as a more intuitive practice for you. So right now it looks like, are you deep into the nutritional planning, sort of like the bot like the more physical body related part of it?
Yeah, more so the diet. I know that I actually started the blood type diet, and it was like super helpful for me.
Mhm, mhm.
But I also know that there are people with more more complex issues that a simple diet won't be able to just
Mhm.
cure or heal.
Absolutely.
And I feel like I'm so studious, and I love to research, and I love to learn and read everything, that like I try to come up with solutions for people. But I feel like there's a more efficient way at some point.
So I'm actually seeing you do past life regression, studying past life regression. I'm seeing you do hypnosis with people. Really, hypnosis, past life regression, energy healing, quantum healing, all of that stuff your soul is sort of prompting you to get into, because most illnesses are or can be extensions of unresolved past life lessons and issues that the soul is bringing into this incarnational cycle to work out. And the body is showing where there's a energetic misalignment. But I'm seeing you specifically with past life regression. Like there are things. So the example that I'm getting is okay, this is really interesting. I'm getting the example of someone who was a slave in a past life, and I'm seeing them being starved. But then I'm seeing that translate into this lifetime as overeating, having a food addiction. So
Yeah.
this is why they're prompting you to go deeper into the metaphysical and this sort of realm of past life, because what you'll find is everyone's situation is so unique, and this is why you're wanting to channel, right? This is why you're wanting to become a vessel to access these other parts of their multidimensional aspects, because there's no one specific thing, right? I've worked with, I mean, probably thousands of people by this point, and it's always something different, right? It's
Yeah.
always something very specific that is manifesting in the form of this illness, or disease or what have you. Now,
Yes.
they want you to understand that the physical food part is very important, because that's something that people really need assistance with. However, this is the missing link too in this regard. Everyone knows that they should eat healthy, right? That's not a secret. But
Hmm.
actually doing it is difficult in practice,
Yes.
because um there are certain new neural pathways that need to open up. So I even see you doing breath work with people, helping them to create healthy lifestyles and then build up to the diet change. This is even something that I've personally struggled with over like the last 2 years of um just like food and a bunch of things. It's not just like a one, two, three. It's like it's baby steps, it's you have to slowly, okay, remove
Hmm.
this, to where now I can cook and make fully plant-based meals and I'm fine, right?
Hmm.
But in the beginning, there's a lot of resistance. Okay. There's a
Yes.
lot of resistance to remove certain things. Like I didn't eat meat for 10 years, but I ate other things that the in source asked me to remove. And it wasn't just like I'm going to wake up and I'm not going to have this.
Yeah.
I had to gently, slowly, right? Because the neural pathways had to be created, the new habits had to be created, the new behaviors. So that's where your quantum healing comes into place. And also, guys, this is where prayer comes into place. I really want
Okay.
to mention this right now. If
Hmm.
you feel like you have a food addiction, if you're addicted to sugar, maybe if you're addicted to alcohol, if you're addicted to whatever you're doing, smoking too much marijuana, all of these things that you feel like you're really struggling with, I want you to pray. Have people pray as well, meaning just the asking, because oftentimes those are entities. I
Wow.
really would like to live this lifestyle. Please assist me with releasing this attachment. So you are an energy healer. The food part has really sort of just allured you into the work, but I see so many other lanes of possibility for you.
Wow.
I
Thank
hope
you
that
so
helps.
much.
You're
It
welcome.
has, and it feels good. It feels right because, like you said, there's no one size fits all for anyone. Everybody's different.
Correct. Exactly. Thanks,
Thank
hon.
you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye bye. Yeah, I love that this came through because one of the ways that I love to use prayer is when I feel like there's something in the physical that's uh, difficult for me to overcome, meaning on a physical level. And in praying, I'll wake up the next day and it could just be gone, or it could just be removed or released, and you find yourself in a new pattern, in a new behavior. So this is where we invite source in and we say, hey, I need some help in this department. Please assist. Okay. Dairy Queen is up next. Cute name.
All right.
I met you in
Yes.
Atlanta. Hello, hello.
Yes.
How are you?
All right. I'm wonderful. How are you? Can you hear me?
I am fantastic. Yes, we can hear you perfectly.
Wow. It's amazing that you started speaking on food addictions and marijuana literally as I'm questioning if I should even ask you about this. Because this past week has been just binging. I don't understand why or what it
Mm,
is. And it's like I've been
yeah.
binge eating so much, and I've been praying about that too, like asking, okay, what is man, I've been so mindful of
Comfort.
my yeah, I've been so mindful in trying to really tune into my emotional guidance system and anything that could possibly be a trigger, I guess, or could have caused this. But it's almost like right after God Fest, I don't know, it's like I was so inspired,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, which February 8th, so yeah, right after February 8th, this past few weeks I've been like inspired, but also I feel like there's a part of me that might be, it's like I know there's something that I have to do, there's action that I need to take, and there's like a part of me that's like hesitant to do it, or it's like holding me back, and
Yeah.
now I kind of slip back into these actions. It's like eating habits that I've gotten rid of a long time ago, and smoking
Mm-hmm.
habits that it's like coming back online, and I'm like, why is this happening all of a sudden? It's like I'm
Mm-hmm.
inspired, I should be wanting to do this, I should be wanting to get on track and stick to this, but anyway, yes.
So, um, you see how inspiring the event is. And that event
Mhm.
was totally an energetic portal. I could just feel like it, it was just an interdimensional portal. And so whenever we're in a high vibrational portal, it activates our light body. It expands us into such a maybe a higher vibration than what you're accustomed, because it's quantum leaping you, right? But then the body, the physical body, can struggle with integrating the new frequency. So then it triggers this series of habits to create comfort. Um, when you expand into a new reality, the body is going to freak out a little bit, and your brain, right? It's going to go, okay, what are all the things that I'm used to doing to cope? Okay, it's eating certain food. It's so something that I used to do when I worked on Wall Street is I'd have this long day of just, crushing it. Cold calls, meetings in New York is just like a fast-paced energy too, just like the whole thing,
Mhm.
closing deals, being in meetings with alpha males where you got to be sharp, you got to be on all day. And at the end of the day, and I wouldn't even eat. I would be surviving off of like coffee. Ridiculous. Coffee and carbs, because I'd have like a bagel or something like that. And then at the end of the day, I would completely binge on something like a pizza. But it was almost like a reward system
Right.
to find some sense of comfort after having this long day. So your body and your brain is like, okay, I went to the God Fest. I'm doing all these things. I'm reading all these books. I'm meditating. I started eating healthy. I'm mapping out my game plan. I spoke to Aaron about moving to San Diego. Yeah, I
Yep.
remember what we spoke about. Spoke to Aaron
Definitely.
about moving to San Diego. This, that, and the third. Okay. And the body is like, girl, whoa, things are moving fast. What can we hold on to? I'm about to smoke a blunt. Okay. I'm about to anchor myself.
Yeah.
So what I want you to do, well, this is great. Pray, ask for some stability in this period of transition. Okay. And what I'm also hearing is you need some things to replace. So maybe instead of smoking, you go, I'm going to have like a chamomile tea.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to do something else that's grounding, like go on a walk. So you just have to switch the old coping mechanisms with new behaviors that can support you and sustain you.
Got you. Definitely. Thank you. Oh, okay. Wait, one more question, if you don't mind. You mentioned Wall Street and I've been into day trading lately. I was just wondering if you have any, like, not lately. I've actually been doing this for years now, but learning about it for years. But now I'm wondering if this is something that I should be doing to assist me financially, or if I should be focusing on things that I'm actually more passionate about, so to speak.
For you specifically right now, no. So at a whole, the market is going to do well over the next 2 years or so. However, you need to be investing in yourself. And what I mean by this is maybe 4 or 5 years ago now, I took all my money out of the market and I went, if I was going to invest in Amazon, Apple, etc., right? These are companies. You invest in them because you see the long-term trajectory of them. And I go, well, I'm my own company now. I need to be investing in myself. And the return is actually triple. I mean, it's really infinite when you invest in yourself in terms of, instead of me putting money into this other company, I'm going to put money towards, maybe it's you need a mentor. Maybe you get some equipment that you need to create content. Hint, hint. Maybe you put money into, okay, I'm saving for an apartment. So when I move to San Diego, so there's different types of investments, right? And I want everybody to understand this. There are different types of investments. Right now, the emphasis for you is not on the market. And if you don't really enjoy that and you're thinking, well, I'm just going to do that to hopefully create some income, with investing, there's a certain frequency. It's really sort of like quantum. If you invest from a place of maybe more so lack or fear, you don't get the same results. And this is why we always say the rich get richer. Why? They're already in a vibration. It's like, this is great. I already made a lot of money. So when they're putting money in the market, it's not from a place of lack. So
exactly.
They will attract the investments that do well. Okay. So yes, eventually that will be a realm that you can play in that won't feel like forced. But right now, we want you to invest in yourself. We want you to invest in your vision, and we want you to invest in your true dream.
I love that. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you.
You are so welcome, hon. Thank you so much for your question. Best of luck with everything.
Thank you.
All righty. All right. We got Anik up next. Of course, you want to be up here. Anik, honey, are you there? Okay, I don't think this person's there. We're going to go with Grace next. Yeah, you can grab him. Thank you.
Hi.
Hello. Hi. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I didn't expect to be called. I was manifesting it, so I'm glad that you did. Can you hear me?
I'm sorry?
Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay. So I have 2 questions. The first one is, I've been on my spiritual journey since like last year. I'm 19 years old, turning 20. So
Okay,
it's
beautiful.
like just research for me, because Christianity didn't really work out for me, and I've been on my spiritual journey, but I have Christian friends, and our opinions differ so much, and I've been having like I'm going back and forth, and I have a best friend who's also very Christian, and
That's
recently,
difficult.
yeah, recently I've just had this overwhelming fear that, what if hell is real? Because apparently she's seeing it in her dream, and I'm like, okay, what if it is? What if it is real? So I was like, I was getting a lot of fear.
Sure.
And
Sure.
this always happens. Like when I let go to the universe, I noticed that it's like something always wants to pull me back. And I
Yeah.
was like, is this another one of those episodes that I'm having that I want to go back into like the fear mentality and, just feeling like I'm being attacked. So
Well,
yeah.
thank you. Thank you for sharing. And I think a lot of folks can resonate with this. The journey of transitioning from religion into spirituality, and it can be scary to think, if I step out of line, right? If I question, if I do, if I entertain these other beliefs, then what if I risk the possibility of going to hell? Okay, so what I want to do here is we're going to collapse that as an illusion altogether. Let me just ask you, do you think an all-loving God, all-knowing, all-loving, all-powerful, would get anything out of burning you eternally in a hellfire?
No. No, I don't.
Doesn't make sense. Now, what does make sense is groups of people getting other people to believe this, so they don't question the reality of things. And they always insert a middleman in their relationship between them and God, between them and source. So what you're experiencing right now is the effect of what the people who created this religious indoctrination, that was their whole point, right? Okay, well, if we come up with a concept like hell, they'll be really afraid to question. So you're experiencing that.
Yeah.
But you're experiencing that right now so you can sit in the fear, but ultimately move through it and come into higher love. So this is where Source is asking you to pray. Pray. Talk to us, right? We talked about prayer today. We talked about prayer simply acknowledging the presence of spirit all around you. Pray. Because there are entities and lower vibrational beings who are going to amplify this fear, right? They don't want you to ascend into the level of consciousness where you remember that you are source God itself, which is just pure love. Because once you remember that, you escape their game and you bypass their drama altogether. So now they can't harness your energy. They can't co-create with you because you no longer agree. You've seen beyond it. You're not in the same vibrational playing field. So yeah, they see this bright light, right? Every time we awaken, guys, in the field, it's like a bright light that just gets brighter and brighter. The higher you go in consciousness, it just gets brighter and brighter. And then you have these beings who are like, no, we don't want you to escape the matrix. We want you to be in fear. We want you to think you're going to go to hell. You know what hell really is? Hell is simply a state of separation between you and what's true. Meaning the temporary condition of believing that you are separated. Hell is you being in fear. So the good news is, to a certain degree, you're kind of already in hell. Now, what makes that powerful is you get to demystify it and you get to take your power back, right? Whenever we're in fear and whenever we are questioning our safety, our well-being, if we will be accepted, right? Because at the core, we all just want to be loved. So we go, God will not love me if I potentially do this or do that. That itself is hell and separation. Okay. Now, what we want to explain to you about these friends and these people that you've been around who have these certain beliefs, we don't want you to teach with your words because they're not in the vibrational vicinity for the sound frequency of those words to land. It's going to be distorted by their beliefs And
Yeah.
so they're not even going to hear what you truly intend. We want you to be an example. Wow. Grace is extremely happy and vibrant and glowing and beautiful and successful and abundant and thriving. What's her secret? I know she believes in this woo-woo witchy stuff. I don't know. Maybe it works. I don't know.
That's literally what they say. That is literally.
It must work, right? I guess it works. Because the vibration of love, this is what I want everybody to understand. The vibration of love is undeniable. The spirit, the true spirit and soul will always recognize the vibration of love as the truth. You don't have to say anything. It's an energy. You know, when you spend time around somebody that's just loving and kind and graceful, hint, hint, key codes embedded in your name. We're activating your soul's technology right now. They're graceful, they're kind, they're loving. We don't really give a shit what they believe. We just like being in their energy. Okay, so we don't want you to feel a need to perform, because right now there's a part of you that wants to prove something that you've come to know. Allow it to be enough for yourself right now, and eventually you will have people coming to you asking you what your secret is. And then for the ones that you can feel are ready, you will tell them and you will know how to meet them where they are. For now, some of these folks, you don't need to speak to them about your spirituality because it introduces doubt. It's introducing too much doubt because you're not yet fully anchored in it, right? You still want the agreement. You want them to agree. So we want you to keep this to yourself in terms of let your relationship with Source be this sacred dance. It's okay. Your guides are saying it's like an inside joke between you and God. And it's okay that they're not in on the joke. It's for you.
Thank you so much.
So
Wait, I have one more question because I've been like feeling like called towards content creation, but I wasn't sure if that's where my future is headed. So I was asking if you are seeing anything that I don't know about.
The fear of judgment from all those people, you're still concerned about what they would think. My practical recommendation is if you already have social channels that you've created and you've started sharing content on, I want you to delete and remove all those people who are not in alignment on what you have to share. If these are like your channel, now you can have a personal whatever where it's for family, it's for friends, but I really want you guys to understand this. When it comes to your work and when it comes to your soul's mission and when it comes to your purpose, you cannot allow other people's energy to be involved. You have to remove them so you're not subconsciously thinking about what they're thinking about every time they see you show up. That's because it's going to dilute the frequency of what you're creating and what you're putting out. So first step, I would remove those people. And I'll give you this last thing, which is I want you to get clear on what your message is. Because that's going to give you the intention where instead of you going, I don't know what to create, I don't know what to say. What is it that you really want people to know? Come up with 3 to 5 pillars of things that Spirit has revealed to you in your life that you really want other people to know because it's helped you. And those are going to be your areas, your source and inspiration for how you create and what you share. Okay. So we'll give you the short final answer. Yes, you should be creating content. That's why you have a desire to do it. That's coming from God. That's coming from Source.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yes. You're welcome, honey. Much love. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. We got Sekou up next. Here we go.
Hello, Erin. How are you?
I'm well. You know, I have to say, I was seeing you in the studio in the back, and I was sort of laughing in my head because the way you were positioned, you're kind of looking like, would they hurry up already so I can come on? So I feel like I was hearing your thoughts.
And I was like,
are.
oh my gosh, all these females. I mean, and it's like, okay. So yeah, that was because I've been on before, and it was like female after female after female, and I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa. So I don't know if it was intentional, but yeah, thank
Nope.
you.
I'm literally just going in order of how you
Okay.
guys are lined up. Yep,
Okay.
literally.
So there's a couple of questions that I want to ask. And there's some adult questions. So in regards
I think
to
everyone here is an adult, so we should be
right.
good.
So in regards to semen retention for men,
Okay.
is that a spiritual practice that holds what benefit outside of being disciplined?
I want to give this example. I have a friend that's an exotic dancer, and she told this story about maybe getting into an argument with her boyfriend or something like that. They weren't in alignment, and then she went to the club that night and made no money. Or like if they would be intimate and in arguments, not fully in alignment, right? And then would go to work and make no money. I'm using this as an example to highlight our chi, our prana can be diluted. The frequency of that can be diluted in terms of our manifestational power, because sexual energy is our creative life force energy, right? It's the kundalini, it's the life force, it's the chi, it's the prana. So if there's a period in your life where you're being guided to have some retention, okay, this would be for purposes of manifestation, I'm hearing, or purposes of whomever, if you have too many sexual leakages. Now, if you're connecting with a partner that's charging you up, that's different. You see, if I connect with somebody, they're charging me up, I'm charging them up because we're in a divine dance of sexual intimacy. We're in a kundalini activation. That's very different.
Okay.
So Source is not wanting my masculines here to become overly militant with semen retention, okay? Because this can also drive someone crazy if there's not enough creative energy. Okay, what we mean by this is when you have all this energy and it's like you're running a business and you're doing this and you got that, you got all this energy, right? It's going somewhere. If that energy is not going somewhere, and then you're also building up this semen retention, it can kind of make you go a little crazy because that energy is meant to be released. Now, I have a practice for you, a cleansing practice to do every so often, right? Depending on your sexual life and what's going on in that department. You can build up and release at the full moon.
Oh,
okay? Because the full moon represents the completion of a cycle. So when you have that release at the full moon, it'll be a full purging, it'll be a full cleansing. Very powerful for my masculines who want to release old sexual cords connecting to just old partners and leakages.
So that's every 30 days.
But you're not going to do that all the time.
Oh.
Right. So what I'm hearing for people is maybe you do this once a quarter, maybe you do this once per year, maybe you do it twice per year. But it really depends on what your sexual lifestyle looks like.
Okay.
Now what's coming up is something on celibacy. Some people thinking about celibacy or already practicing it. There's an expiration date on your celibacy as well, meaning when we're in a period of celibacy, it's because we're building up that creative life force energy that we've been giving away without intention and without proper connection to people who can charge us up. So Spirit says, hey, you should be celibate, right? Because it's going to bring you deeper into your relationship with Spirit and yourself. But it's not meant to be a permanent thing. Everyone needs to know that.
Okay. So then when you I think I just answered. So when a male releases often, is that not his life force being drained or taken away? And I'm assuming it does replenish, but has an impact on the life force?
It does replenish, but the key is how is it being released? What is the nature? So if, let's say there's porn involved, right?
Yeah.
That's an energy draining practice. You don't
Okay.
get charged up. Your energy gets harnessed. This is why if you watch porn, you might feel energetically depleted, exhausted, tired, right? When you get charged up, you're like awake. It's
Yeah.
an energy, it's an activation, right? So it's not about is the release positive or negative, because that's a biological functionality that your body's doing what it's supposed to do. It's that if you are doing so from a low vibration.
Okay. Okay.
And then when you're releasing in that low vibration, right? That energy also, in terms of where it goes, because remember, energy never dies, it's just transformed. Okay. It also, we'll just say there are other entities that harness off of that energy.
Okay. Yeah, I've actually had an experience some years ago with a what do you call it? The sexual demons? I cannot think of the name. But anyway, let me get to my next question. So, um,
The succubus energy.
yes, yes,
That is a very real thing, guys, by the way. That is a
yes,
very real. I'm feeling like we should create some time to talk about that in a separate topic, but that is a very real thing.
yeah. I actually woke up with scratches on my back one time, and I'm like, where the hell did these scratches come from? And
Interesting.
someone who's highly spiritual said you was marked, and so I'm like, oh my gosh. And so I see that, and I've actually remember seeing an energetic female come into my room right at REM sleep at one time,
Mm.
and it just really shocked me. So yeah, I have experienced that. One of the things I also want to talk about is um, I've had some dreams, and right at REM sleep, because I take care of my nephews. And I remember right at REM sleep, I was teaching them how to meditate. They're my great nephews. And I remember going right at REM sleep, and a being appeared in my room and was like, I'm from your cosmic family. I want you to know that we are proud of what you're doing. And you can ask 2 questions. And they said, one of the questions was, when am I going to die? And I'm like, why am I asking that? I don't want to ask that. And so it was so confusing. So yeah, it was so confusing. I don't know. And then I also had an experience of I was in my room and I was taking care of my another nephew, and you know how the humming gets in your ear, and so I was trying to raise my vibration to match that humming. And so next thing you know, I was in my bedroom, and I saw myself in this huge centrifuge, and all of a sudden I just kept spinning, and I'm like yelling to my cousin. I'm like, oh my gosh, Larry. And after my intention, well, what I got was just let it go. And so I let it go, it ended, and I walked out the room, and I was like, did you hear me calling you? He was like, no, I didn't. And so I don't know if there's any message behind that, or those two.
Was this an awaking state or were you dreaming?
It was in an awakened state.
I'm sort of seeing you like shift dimensions a little bit. It gives me a dream time energy, but if you were awake, okay, like the reality or dimension that you thought you were in, it was more of a parallel earth, which is why Larry didn't hear you. And this
Oh.
humming is just the sound frequency of this being in this sort of in between dimensions.
Mm-hmm.
But the sort of just kind of forget it. That was
Okay.
given to you so you can, the mind just can't understand some of these things. It's sort of like, when you're in a dream and you're shifting between all these frames and you're like, has no linearity, right? We're used to linearity. We're used to a sequence of events, but in dream time, it's like things are just, that's because when we think things in that realm, they manifest, they happen, we shift really fast. But
Okay.
yeah, I'm just seeing you uh in a more non-physical realm but you didn't fully process or realize that.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it makes sense. And so, two more questions, quick questions.
Okay,
So,
sweetie, we're gonna do one more.
okay, one more. So, as far as the Merkaba, Is
Okay.
that something that in this day and time where we are now and this as we are evolving, is that something that we can attune to?
Yes, so your Merkaba can and will activate depending on what your soul is trying to do or wants you to have access to. Meaning, for the average person, the the Merkaba has no, you're not going to have that experience if you haven't fully mastered certain things in the physical realm. So
Ah,
it's
okay.
really, in my personal experience, right? I'm just speaking from my experience. You're already using this as a vehicle in your dream time, right?
Mhm.
You being able to consciously activate the Merkaba, which is just a light vehicle that helps you travel through time and space. There just may be a specific time where it might just happen, or you're allowed conscious access to it. Does that make sense? But it's not necessarily something that at this point in time for the masses that um needs to happen yet.
So it's not something to chase, it's something that if
Correct.
it's meant to happen, it will happen for you eventually at the
Correct.
time that it's supposed to
And
happen.
that you're already doing this as a soul. Okay.
Oh,
Going through bilocating, trilocating, um,
okay.
through time and space. The
Okay.
question is more so of when it becomes relevant for you to have a conscious experience.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
give a
Okay.
more practical breakdown of this. So, when I've experienced my Merkaba activate, I felt myself like in my third eye, I felt this movement, almost like I was in a spaceship.
Mm.
And as I was moving, my soul was taking me to different dimensions because at the time there was this certain grid work that I was doing. So um there were certain universal gateways that I needed to go through to basically come back with the codes or the energy that I needed to do the grid work. So I felt myself moving through these different dimensions. Like really it feels like you're in a spaceship and but you're still in your physical body, but you can feel in your consciousness that there is a movement through time and space. So again, we're already doing this as a soul, everybody, because your soul is multidimensional. This is just
Okay.
one aspect of what you're experiencing right now. If and when it becomes necessary, you can have a conscious experience of your Merkaba being activated and you moving through dimensions.
Okay. But that's not something for me to chase and try to do a Merkaba meditation and all of that. Okay.
No, you don't need that. That is not the priority at the moment.
Okay, I got it. You have definitely. I wanted to ask you what my cosmic family was, but um,
Um,
uh,
the being in your room was a Syrian being
oh, Siri.
from
Okay.
the Sirius star system.
So does that mean that that is my the being that entered the room when I get out?
Okay.
Okay.
The
Sirius.
Syrian energy is really present for you. That's all they're really giving me right now. Now, there are many different beings, but this is your most, okay, what is most relevant as a star family that's guiding you and connecting with you right now. Okay. Right now.
Oh,
You've done a lot of work with them. So that energy is more present, guiding you and assisting you. Okay. Now I see ancient Egypt show up and I see you with these beings from Sirius, Lyran, they're feline Syrian beings, of you doing some work with at that time in some of these Egyptian timelines.
holy
Um,
crap! You
42 laws of Mayet around that time, something that you were a part of um seeding as a just structure for civilization at that time.
Oh my gosh, I have dreamed about that, and I have you just really had hit the nail on the head. Seriously. I actually thought it was Arcturian, but thank you. You have definitely helped a lot.
Yeah, you're so welcome, hon. Thank you.
Thank
It's
you.
been a
So I'll call
pleasure.
in.
Thank you.
I know
Thank
we
you.
can't call in back to back like next week, not tomorrow. So you want me to wait 30 days?
It doesn't have to be 30 days. It doesn't have to be the next full moon. How about
Okay.
next week? Okay.
Okay. I
I'll
will.
see you next week. Okay.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Delight is up next. I'm sorry. I meant to click Delight, but I clicked Laurel. So that's just what's supposed to happen. Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. We're gonna
Hey.
go, just for clarity, guys, for my people in the back, because I am gonna wrap up soon. I'm gonna go Delight, then I'm gonna go David, and then I'll have to see you guys next week.
Okay, so I can go ahead and do it.
Yes.
Hey, Erin.
Hello, hello, hello.
So I just don't want to make it too long, but so I just want to say gratitude for everything you have done. You have
Thank you.
so much on my healing journey, and I've been using your practices every day. Just trying to operate out the form of lack and just showing gratitude every day and trying to shift my mindset every day. Um,
Mhm.
and I'm in the medical field, and the job that I'm currently in, it's kind of chaotic. I'm more of an order type of girl. So I'm just like, I talk to Source all the time, and I'm just like, these people get on my nerves. Like, I'm just trying to get it together. I pray about it. I talk about it. And right now, basically what I'm doing, I have a big project. And I feel like I have a calling of just trying to like help others heal within their self and their journey. And I'm releasing it soon, but actually it's helping me actually transform into my higher self as well. So when it comes to that, I feel like I'm getting like downloads and like answers from source, but at the same time, I'm still kind of stagnant. So I don't know if it's something I'm doing wrong or it's just that lack of trust.
Do you have a timeline? So, in terms of, I would like to be doing this, and these are the steps that I'm aligning with in a more physical, grounded way, so that I can leave on this date or around this time.
Mm, okay. I mean, I have a certain date that I want to like release it. So it's like a deadline that I put myself like give myself time to like it's kind of like a structure type of thing because like I said, I'm more of a structure type of person. So I give myself a certain time that I want to release it and stuff like that. But I kind of get in my own way, if that makes sense. So yeah.
Yeah, so I feel a lot of masculine energy coming in for you right now, because this whole project, this whole vision, this idea is, it's in the ethers, you're working on it, but we want to ground it, solidify it even more, and support it with, okay, what needs to happen for me to reasonably feel comfortable and safe leaving my job and pursuing this other thing full time? What needs to happen? Maybe you recognize, there's another job that I need to get, right? The timeline is not fully activated wherein I can go from one thing to the next. So I've got to organize the pieces, right? Sometimes, guys, it's not about getting from one place to the next. It's about, what are the chess pieces that I align to step by step by step by step end up in the outcome and the reality that I'm looking for. So I see you, it's like these steps that you need to take.
Yeah. Okay.
But
So
the bigger vision is overwhelming you sometimes, because you're just wondering, well, how am I going to go from that? It's not going to happen that way. It's going to be there's going to be a practical sequence of events.
so
So I
I
want you to reverse engineer this whole thing. What is my end goal? What does it look like?
mhm,
How am I using my time? How much money am I making? What am I doing? Okay. What are the steps that I need to start doing now to make that my reality?
okay.
And then you approach each step
Mhm,
little by little. You
okay.
accomplish the first step, you accomplish the next step,
Mhm,
and then eventually you are where you want to be. Maybe this takes 2 years. That's okay. As long as you know you're moving towards what you desire.
so my question is am I getting in my own way? Because I feel like I have with me being a perfectionist, I mean well. I promise I do. I mean well, but I feel like with me trying to get everything done at once, I know it's not going to happen right then and there because, like you said, it takes time. But I feel like I'm in my own way, and the masculine energy is overtaking me, of course. And I always operated in masculine because that's how I grew up. So, yeah,
Well, I actually see the need for your masculine energy, like I was mentioning, because it's grounding you and giving you some structure, because you have the vision and the idea, which is more feminine, right? It's a more of a flowy energy. So the fact that okay, this is what we want to say. If you find yourself working on something, and maybe you're going back to the drawing board because you're like, that's not it. It's not perfect. That's okay. You're in the creative process. As long as that energetic momentum is showing up and it's not forced, and that's really the sort of creative genius mode that you're in, engage that, play in that, simmer in that. That's beautiful.
Okay.
As long as you're not unconsciously creating issues and problems to sabotage the progress, which I'm not seeing that you're doing that. I'm just saying you're actually still in a process of refining whatever this project is. And in the refinement, you're getting more clear on what it actually is. What we mean by that is, in the beginning, maybe you thought it was one thing, but you keep finding out that it's really deeper. It's something bigger. It's something more. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
So
mm-hmm.
The pieces of the puzzle are coming together.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Have fun with it. The more you have fun with it, the more will be revealed. And then you'll know when you go, okay, this is solidified, this is complete in terms of the idea. I'm ready to take some different type of action. So we start really getting this moving into fruition.
Okay. I appreciate your wisdom and your advice. Gratitude.
Thanks, hon. Thank you for your question. All right, we got Delight up next. Hello. Thank you for your patience. Welcome.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited. I was not expecting to get called on, but I said, you know what? Let me just log in, and the universe will choose me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I had a tough year last year, and I was laid off at the end of last year, and I'm just like, I was getting hit with everything.
So I wanna stop you. Sorry, but Source just wants to say you didn't have a tough year. We know for your human it was a tough year, but you didn't have a tough year. You had an expansive year.
Yes. It was very expensive because honestly, it didn't end with me feeling defeated. It ended with me feeling like I'm in a reset. I get to realign myself in the right direction. So that's exactly right. Like, my physical was like, this is a lot. Like, I don't want to be the strongest soldier right now. What's going on? I feel so like ready and geared up. Like, I know everything is like on its way. I can just feel it.
When you look back on the year that you have, aren't you thankful that you were removed from certain places and spaces?
Yes, absolutely.
So what was actually happening is it appeared like things were falling apart, but reality was rearranging itself to show you your new vibration.
Yes, totally. I was even telling people at that time, I'm like, everything is falling apart to fall into place. And that was my model. And that's how I truly felt. I felt it was falling apart to fall into place. And at the beginning of the year, it felt like a pause. And I think Source just wanted me to get very clear on what it is that I want, what my true desire is. And now I have all these opportunities, and I'm just, I guess, with the moon being in Leo, I guess I just have to step into that courage of the next chapter. And so I just wanted to ask, are you getting anything with like what direction I should move towards? I have, 2 job offers. I have creativeness that I'm like, I love astrology. I love to cook, and I just want to blend, like, my overall vision is to just blend all of these things that I love into like one business idea at some point. So I'm just like, what's my next step? What direction should I go?
So Thank you for sharing. I'm laughing because I want to highlight for everybody how crazy we are as humans. We go from nothing's happening, everything's falling apart, what's going on, to I got 2 job offers, this is happening, now I'm overwhelmed.
Yeah. Yes.
And then we wonder why spirit drips things out to us slow sometimes because we're all fucking crazy. Okay. We don't know what we want. Sometimes we want it all, that we're scared.
And
We don't want it.
what I
Okay.
did.
So so yeah. Through for you. You get to pick what you want. And that is the abundance, right? The abundance is when we go, I don't have to just take this job because this is the only offer I got. Nothing else is popping. Nothing else is lined up. Spirit is going, hey, you could do this. You could do this. You could do this. Oh, and we're going to give you a little bit of this. Okay, what if it's a combination of you're going to choose this job and then you're going to start this creative process? It's not one or the other. It's a mix. It's a little bit of everything. So this theme that I see in your field right now is attuning to the frequency of having it all. This is big. This is your quantum leap. When we're used to operating in scarcity, we do think that it has to be we're used to taking what we can get, right? It's always just enough. The tipping point, the real tipping point is when we shift from being used to getting just enough to always having multiple options. This will be the norm moving forward. Of course, I should have more than one offer. Of course, I should have all of this going on. And then I get to pick. So Source is saying, take your pick. There's no right or wrong. Whatever you choose from the heart, we will support you. Doesn't matter what you choose, we will support you. I'm just seeing a little bit of like, I don't want to make the wrong choice. Understand that the highest timeline of both scenarios exists for you in the quantum realm. And allow that to give you peace. Let love lead you. Let your true joy lead you, not your mind, right? The mind might be saying why this is better than that and this and that. What is it that will make you the happiest? Understand that comes with the highest abundance.
Yes, I love that. Is there any like practices or routines? I'm a Taurus, so I love routines. So is there like any routine that I can like incorporate to just kind of stay in that abundant energy?
Yeah, morning meditation and gratitude.
Perfect.
At the end of the night, I want you to, at the end of the day, before you sleep, I want you to try to recall as many good things as possible that happened to you in the day. So what you do is in the morning, you're going to meditate. Soon as you come out of meditation, go into a gratitude of just naming as many amazing things that are already present in your life. Then at the end of the day, you recall all of the best things that happened. And what you start doing is you create the energetic set point for the next day, because we usually wake up in the energy that we went to sleep in. And this is why I like to say, one good day becomes a good week, and then that good week becomes a good month. And the next, you have a phenomenal year. Then you have a phenomenal life. It begins with, what do you do with your energy in the morning to set the frequency to have a good day? What do you do at the end of the night, at the end of the day, to before you go to sleep, to acknowledge that great day and wake up in that energy? So then it's like, I'm seeing this. It's like it just keeps going. You just keep kind of going like this. Great ending of the day, great morning. Great ending of the day, great morning, right? And then you're just living truly in alignment.
Love that. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're so welcome, hun. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Such a beautiful name and a beautiful spirit. It was lovely connecting with you. You've been a delight. Thank you. And thanks, hun. Next up, we have David. And I believe I have met this man as well. Hello.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have.
In Atlanta at the God Fest 2 weeks
yes,
ago
you
now.
did.
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
Hello.
I hope you're doing well. That's my daughter.
Hi,
one of my daughters.
So cute. So precious.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
And my other daughter, of course, she got a...
Hi.
Hi.
I love that you guys are tuning in right now with Dad. Amazing.
Oh, yeah. So my question is, actually, this first question is about them. Like, I want to just understand, like, how to better support them and better... I think I'm doing a good job, with support and just being, encouraging and, teaching about different things about, some of this wisdom that we kind of just been put on us and that kind of thing. So I just want to understand I know I'm doing the right things, but just want to understand what else could I do to just help them, because my oldest daughter, she has a lot of, they want to say that she got like ADHD or something like that, but of course I know it's not that, but I just want to help. I
Sure.
want to understand how to help.
So interestingly, I see both of their higher selves come in and they're going, we know you want to help us, but we're actually here to help you too. And I'm seeing you allowing yourself to receive from them more in terms of what they're here to teach you. There's this energy of like fun and play. Like I feel like they both have very vibrant energy.
Oh yes.
And I feel this like ancient feminine priestess energy, and they're here to help you loosen up a little bit, they're saying. Leaning into the flow and the rhythm of life. So you actually help them by understanding that they're already operating in the energy that they came here to be in. And how you support them is setting up things in a way where they can do that anymore. Okay. What we mean by that is the most important thing that they can be doing is having fun and being creative. Those are two things. Having fun and being creative. If there were any two rules in your home that you would want to have as a parent, it would be those. So when they come to you and they say, hey, like, I want to do this, or what do you think about this? Your only question should be, does that sound fun to you?
Okay.
Those are the dominant energies.
Right. No, that makes perfectly good sense. Perfectly good sense. We do have a lot of fun. Just want to help them just tailor the things that they need to do at school and different things like that, while they can still have fun doing that. I just want to help them.
Do they have
understand.
specific crafts that they like?
Oh yeah.
Be it dance, music,
Yep, they
art?
dance. They do. My oldest daughter, she does dance and theater. My youngest daughter, she does dance and other things too. So, but and she makes bracelets. All the creative stuff we try to keep them in. But theater is definitely her lane. Like seriously, because she don't understand how easy it is for her to get up there and just light up. She just thinks that everybody can do that. They can't. They can't.
Yeah.
She don't understand that they cannot. she don't get it.
Right? She's got an it factor.
She has it. Yes, very much so.
Whatever
Very
the
much so.
creative passions are for both,
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing to really double down on that, really encourage that, really. But why we were leading with fun is not from a place of hyper masculine discipline. Like discipline is a great thing, right? If you say you love this thing and you really want to pursue this professionally, right, then there will be some discipline. But I'm seeing them pursue these creative passions and starting to see the bigger vision of where they can go with it. And then you providing the balance of the flow and the structure. First, it's got to be fun. And then, yes, we're going to be disciplined. It's both. And then they will be these very balanced, masterful young ladies who can create anything.
I see it.
Do they struggle a little bit with structure, would you say?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah, that would be the thing. That is, as the father, as the protector, I'm hearing you want to come in and teach them a little bit about the importance of structure. Okay. This could be through understanding how to maintain a schedule, how to have a morning routine, like we were just speaking about with the last person. Structure meets play is what I'm hearing.
Gotcha. Okay. That's
Yes.
excellent. Thank you. One more question, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
So
No
I
worries.
transitioned careers I was working in the hospital for about 5 years. A transition to just I know source, and my vibration lined up for this new position that I'm in as assistant manager at a Bentley dealership. But then I
Nice.
also got an opportunity to do something else.
I love it.
And
I love it. I
oh
love
yes,
it. Multiple opportunities.
oh yes, and I believe that. I believe it. I'm just because I can feel the shifts, and not saying it's overwhelming, but it because I already know if they want to pursue, because I done came to them and did every, all the job offer, the pay plan, all that stuff. I already did all that, and I'm just waiting for them to just say, "Come on in if you want to," blah blah blah. But I just can. Is it weird for me to be able to feel the shifts? I can just feel it. It's almost. It feels like wind. It just feels like cosmic wind that I feel when
So
everything blows.
this is what happens
Mhm.
when one opportunity comes into the field. Because we have it, right? It's solidified. It's now a reality. There's a sort of releasing of resistance that then opens up the quantum gateway to these other things that were waiting in vibrational queue, meaning waiting for you to
Mhm.
be in an energy of receptivity. So
Mm.
sometimes spirit can go, okay, you're a vibrational match to this. You get this, right? You get the dealership offer. But then it's like all boop, 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 all these things from the field start dropping in because you've now found a way to enter this mode of receptivity.
Mhm.
So the shifts that you're feeling is you're feeling yourself calibrate to everything that was already just circulating in the field, hanging out in your field,
Mhm.
waiting for you to be in a vibration of receptivity.
Mm. That makes
So
perfect
really
sense.
expect more
Mm.
opportunities
Mhm.
beyond what you can physically see
Mhm.
or maybe even fathom, but
Mhm.
because of the vibration you're in, they're going to just start
Oh, I
plugging
feel
in.
it. I feel it. It just
That's
feels
the
like
feeling.
I say it like this, because lava's not fast, but it's powerful. It feels just like that.
Mm,
It
mhm.
feels just
Oh
like
yeah, I love
lava
that. There's a
flowing.
momentum, right?
Yes.
There's a fire, there's a
Yes.
momentum
Yes.
that you can feel.
Yes.
There's a buildup.
Mhm.
One more thing I really have to share with you from spirit is I don't know if
Okay.
you are doing any spiritual coaching of any sort, but that is becoming a soul priority.
Aaron.
That's knocking at the door. And really these other opportunities you're getting
Mhm.
are to give you some stability and some
Mhm.
next tier abundance that
Mhm.
will allow you to do your soul's work.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Aaron. Yes, 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 yes. I
So
want to
whenever
do so.
you
Yeah.
lock in whichever of these positions, I
Mhm.
want you should immediately start sharing content,
Mhm. I will. I am.
opening up some sessions to do some Akashic readings, some things like that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
You have some of your ancient priest energy, I see. Okay, a lot of Egyptian energy for this group today from ancient Kemet. These your ancient priest energy, some Lyran, some Syrian energy shows up, some Anunnaki, all of these integrating with you at this time to step into your true leadership. Okay, one more thing we have for you is spirit wants you to know, source wants you to know, you've always known that you are a leader. You've always known that.
Mhm.
You've known that. It's the time is coming for you to fully hold that without question.
Right. Okay.
That's what's happening right now.
Got you. Yeah, because I speak like language and I write like language and I have all different kind of, visions. And
Technologies.
yes, I have. Whoa, man,
Okay,
I
you
have a
want to
lot of
use those
yes.
technologies.
Oof,
I
yes.
see you activating many, many divine masculines who need assistance at this time.
Gotcha.
I'm seeing you with a sort of mystery school of your own. You really want to start thinking about what your curriculum is, what that looks like.
Never thought about it like that. That's very. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank
Okay.
you. I can work on that.
As soon as tonight, these technologies and just a deeper blueprint of your soul's curriculum that you're here to share is going to be source is going to be channeling this to you. Okay. Books. I see books. I see retreats. I see workshops. I see energy healing circles. I see a bunch of stuff, speaking, events. Like, okay, so source is going to start giving you the breakdown of what to pursue first.
Okay. Yeah, they already. Yeah, it's yeah. The podcast is definitely already there. So I gotta just go ahead and
Yes.
step into it, like you said, and then everything else will open up. So yeah, everything is on point. I really appreciate you and your efforts, and thank you so much for all
Thank
that you
you.
do.
Thank you. Much love. Thank
Much
you
love.
for being
All right.
here.
Of course. Take care now.
Thank you. All right, guys, what a beautiful show today. I'm so happy I got a chance to spend more time with you guys today, an hour and a half in, and just sealing everything, closing everything, bringing us into a unified grid of intention, making sure that after today, you're praying throughout the day, which is simply you're including source in all conversations on all topics, within all conditions, under any circumstance, acknowledging the divine presence of this consciousness, this infinite intelligence that is waiting to assist you, desiring to hear from you, wanting to listen to you, wanting to comfort you, wanting to console you. The only requirement is that you come raw, you come authentic, you come on yourself, and you come knowing that you are unconditionally loved. That is the only requirement. And knowing that before you have even asked, it has been given, and you will seal the prayer and the invocation with the thank you to set in motion the parallel timeline, the future, and bring it into the now. Okay, so that's what we have. Much love, light, and blessings, and I will see you next week. Peace.